Assalamualaikum and hi to Miss Aziz.
Today we would like to present about batik as our heritage culture. So,
Let's watch the video presentation.
Assalamualaikum to Miss Aziz. Thank you for watching our video presentation. Today we would like to present about existing heritage product. We need to choose one cultural and heritage attraction in Malaysia. We choose batik as our existing heritage product assignment, which is compare with batik Indonesia and Malaysia. As we know, batik usually wear by officer government every Thursday, and also the student at vocational student, college vocational student wearing batik as well. Now I will brief about the batik history. History in Malaysia, which is as we see here, industrial in Kelantan batik only began early in 1911 and focus on the east coast only, which is, as we know that in Kelantan, Terengganu is really famous batik. In Kota Baru, I can see is a Nur Alfa batik, Hanafi batik. There's a lot batik outlets here. And in Indonesia, it started since 12th century. It's quite early than Malaysia. The motif and patterns also got difference between them, which is the Malaysian only prefer with a floral motif and compare with geometric motif and fauna. Moreover, fauna are limited to insect, bird, marine life, as for figurative motif also allowed and less using insect motif. For Indonesia, the elements motif is not limited. Its filling icing is a popular among Indonesia. As I can see, the Indonesian batik is more likely geometric and have a lot. Okay, now I want to show the different pattern of batik Malaysia and pattern batik of Indonesia. As you can see, the batik pattern in Malaysia is more likely flora and fauna. And the Indonesian pattern is more to geometry. Hi, now let's rewatch the introduction part from K and Amiruddin videos.
Okay, firstly, our group would like to present about the batik Malaysia and batik Indonesia. Okay, I will present about the introduction of Malaysian batik. Okay, Malaysian batik is the batik that started out of Malaysia, especially on the east coast of Malaysia. It is famous in Kelantan, Terengganu and Pahang. The most popular motif are leaves and flowers. Malaysian batik depicting humans or animals are rare because Islam does forbid animal image as decoration. The Malaysian batik is also famous for its geometrical designs such as spirals. Okay, the history of the Malaysian batik, according to the Museum of Cultural History of Oslo, it is known for certain that the Javanese influenced Malay batik making technically as well as in the development of designs. At an early stage, the Malaysians used wooden blocks in order to produce batik-like textile. Commercial production started in the 1960s. The craft had developed its own particular aesthetic and design peculiar to Malaysia. The new Malaysian batik is clearly different from the Javanese tradition of hand-painted batik. Okay, for the Indonesian batik, I will ask my friend to present about it.
We will continue with batik Indonesia. Before this, you know about the batik Malaysia. For the batik Indonesia, the word batik is Javanese. Its origin Javanese is one of many Indonesian local dialects. It is attested in the Indonesia archipelago during the Dutch colonial period with various forms. History of batik Indonesia. The art of batik mostly developed in the islands of Javanese in Indonesia. This in Java, all the material for the process are readily available, like cotton, and beeswax and plants from which different vegetable dyes are made. In the 1920s, Javanese batik migrating to Malaya, now is Malaysia, introduced to use of wax and copper block to the East Coast. In Sub-Saharan Africa, Javanese batik was introduced in 19th century by Dutch and English traders. The local people are adapted the Javanese batik, making larger motif with thicker lines and more colors. Okay, next my friend.
And now we continue to SWOT analysis of both attraction by Fatimah and Aisyah.
Assalamualaikum to Miss Aziz. We are presenting about SWOT analysis. First is the strength of Malaysian batik and Indonesian batik. Malaysian batik has a unique features that usually pattern in abstract, geometric and flora motif. That is their uniqueness for Malaysian batik. Other than that, for government encouragement, the government has imposed a new agenda among civil servants, which they are required to wear batik on Tuesday and at official ceremonies. Okay, the third is various categories. As we know, batik are not only in the fashion right now industry, not only in fashion industry. They are also in handicraft and soft furniture industry. For Indonesian strength, first, Indonesian batik has its own uniqueness since they have unlimited motif for their pattern. They do not only focus on geometry or flora or any abstract motif, but they have their own style on patterning their batik. Indonesian batik is made up of various types in which they are produced from several different districts in Indonesia. Therefore, they have wide range of motif and various types of batik. Okay, they also use limited edition concept. They use this one pattern of corak, one pattern of motif, and use it as a limited edition. Therefore, they have more customer demand. Next, I will present about the opportunity of Malaysian and Indonesian batik. Firstly, Malaysian aggressive advertising and marketing. Okay, batik has the opportunity to do aggressive and advertising marketing. They can put an advertisement at the subway system so that tourists who come to Malaysia aware of the existing in Batik Malaysia. Other than that, the use of big billboard in the tourist attraction areas such as airport are very useful to spread information about batik. Other than that, increasing income for villagers. As we know, batik are handmade in Malaysia, and they use villagers' manpower to filling the motif of batik. Next, about opportunity in Indonesia. Since the batik are usually used in wedding ceremony in Indonesia, batik producer can take this opportunity to commercialize the batik they produce globally. Okay, they can use the other approach to commercialize it in new categories such as accessory or furniture, as in Malaysian do right now. Other than that, Indonesian batik can also use aggressive advertising and marketing, which they can use Instagram and use online business to promote their batik. Other than that, government regulatory, they can follow Malaysian concept, which they should use one day of batik day. Use in Malaysia we use Thursday to as a batik day, so they can use on Friday or Saturday, on Monday, maybe like that. Okay, therefore the market of batik can be widened through domestic and international business also. Thank you.
I'll be talking about weaknesses of Malaysian batik and Indonesian batik. And to begin with, the first problem and weaknesses of Malaysian batik is that the batik industry in Malaysia is very competitive. This is because there are a very vast production of batik in Malaysia, where especially in the east coast of Peninsular Malaysia such as Kelantan and Terengganu, this is the market niche, and the market is very huge where almost everyone can paint batik here. And thus the weaknesses of the batik is in terms of competition. The next one is batik Malaysia is what most famous is the hand-drawn batik. That means the automatic stencil, they are not so famous because they are everywhere and they are easy to find. But hand-drawn batik are very expensive. Other than being expensive, they use expensive materials which are very hard to get. And then if there are a mistake in the drawing, the batik have to be demolished. They cannot be sold. Thus, this is one of the weaknesses of Malaysian batik. The next one and then lastly is the floral pattern. There are geometric patterns and other patterns of batik in Malaysia, but then what the most common is the floral pattern. And this pattern seems to be revolving around the same floral motif. That means there are not really any new enhancement in the pattern. Next is the weaknesses of Indonesian batik. Firstly, Indonesian are producing a mass production of batik also. But the problem is there are many demands on the same patterns of batik. Thus, what happened? They need a help. They cannot use the manual way, but they need automatic way. The problem with automatic way is it is using a computer system. The computer system actually requires a lot of capital to be obtained, and then it's very expensive, thus making it hard for the manufacturer to produce a lot of automatically drawn batik. The next weaknesses for Indonesian batik is that there are a lack of ability to produce. There are not many talented workers as there is in Malaysia, because even though the market is wide, but also the same thing is the patterns are still revolving in the same concept. The maker, however, they don't have any much new insights of new designs and patterns. They are not really aware of the changing patterns, thus making it very insufficient. There are very insufficient number of talented batik drawer. And lastly, the weaknesses of Indonesian batik is that in Indonesia, they are facing a difficulty to find the materials. In Malaysia, it's very easy, but in Indonesia, it's very hard to find sutera. What I mean is silk, thus making it hard for them to produce and to attend to customer demand. Next one is threats. Malaysian batik are facing huge threats such as rapid changing trends. Due to the activeness of social media and information to the customer, they have a very latest information about the latest fashion trends in the world, thus making them always wanting the latest fashion. But batik is very hard to produce, and what happened is the manufacturer cannot make use of what they have already designed, what they have already produced. This produced batik would then remain in the stock and unused, thus bringing in a lot of losses to the company. The next threat is copyright infringement. The copyright infringement law in Malaysia, there are copyright infringement law, but the enforcement is not very strong. What happened is every manufacturer, they are freely to copy each other's design, and thus flooding the market with a lot of same designs. That means when there's a lot of same designs, customers have too many options and choices. Too many options and choices and offerings means the price would reduce down to the floor. Okay, the next one is the threats that Indonesia batik are facing. The main threat is, since they are difficult to obtain silk, expensive and quality materials, Indonesian batik company are using the cheaper alternative instead. They are using a bad quality materials. The use of cheap quality materials will cause the customer to lose trust and faith into the product, thus making them not wanting to repurchase. The next one is criminal cases. It is known that batik, they are sun dried. They're using sun to dry out in the open. What happened is, under very minimal supervision, the batik will be stolen by robber and mugger. So that's all for threats and weaknesses of Malaysian and Indonesian batik. Thank you.
With the recommendation part presented by Fatia and Dia.
Okay, for the recommendation, batik is a unique in terms of the process where it is using wet technique and color, but it can be worn without discoloration. Next is the designer technique changes to the batik in terms of the molding, because nowadays is modern style. So they should follow the trend. The designer also made a variety of batik painting. In future, follow the time flow, and to make the children learn batik and know the history about it, Ministry of Education should add some syllabus of batik in secondary schools and primary schools for subject. I will continue for the recommendation. The first one is approve the batik to be recognized as indigenous cultural heritage Malaysia. From the internet, we know Indonesia has been approved as the batik popular. So we suggest that next is Malaysia should be the next one. The last one is Minister of Justice and Human Rights has been done in cooperation with the Ministry of Industry and Innovation, Batik Foundation, and the entrepreneurs and the artists of batik or batik launch mark the brand Batik Indonesia.
Okay, now we continue the last part, which is I will present about the competition.
Now I would like to continue about our research about batik Malaysia and Indonesia. So knowing about the batik is very interesting, isn't it? For our generation, it's very interesting. Batik is our native cultural clothes that our grandma wear when they was young. Okay, for the effort development of batik is getting fed because new pattern of other clothes and always a fresh idea from the designer to come out the new pattern other the batik. So it's difficult to batik to enter the market. Then the only known by particular person. Okay. For the second, only known by particular person, which is only a certain person just know about to what batik and to design the batik. So other outside people, it's hard to learn the batik because it needs a passion and a creativity skill to observe to become a batik. So to develop our batik to globalization, so we must to expose the batik to other generation, which is we open the workshop to the other generation to learn about batik and make the handicraft using the batik. So it's increase the interesting day to learn about batik. The second is new technology help in production of batik. New technology is using to increase the product batik. New technology help in a production of batik, which is it saves time to do it a batik because batik had difficult help in production of batik, which is can save our time to produce batik, and it's also help to produce batik in many batiks to deliver to our customer. So that's all that I conclude about the batik. So I hope you Miss Aziz interesting with our video. So thank you very much.